news. The Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, has frozen all assets of the late Chief Executive of the Forestry Commission, Mr. Kwejo Owusu-Afriyie, also known as Sir John. The action follows the OSP's press statement on the 26th of May 2022 that it has commenced full investigations into the alleged improper and unlawful acquisition of 4 parcels of specified and unspecified acres of land in the Achim-Mota Forest, which the late politician bequeathed to named persons. On May 2022, it came to light that the will of Sir John contained some parcels of land at the Achim-Mota Forest Reserve and the Sakuna Ramsar site. The will also had huge sums of money in both his local and foreign accounts. 25 people in Wa for attempting to forcefully secure the release of 3 suspects who were in police custody for flogging the victims in the Wa viral video. The 25 suspects were part of a mob who besieged the Wa police station on Wednesday, June 1, 2022 to demand the release of Sidiki Osman, Bushiran Kiger and Isahaku Mahama, who were arrested earlier in the day and were in police custody. The irate mob pelted the charge office and adjoining offices with stones and other implements. In a statement, the police explained that the youth also set vehicle tires ablaze on some major streets in the municipality. The statement further says the suspects and others who will be arrested in the course of investigations will be put before the court to face justice. We go over to our correspondent in Wa, Emmanuel Mensah Abludu, for an update of the situation. Good afternoon, Emmanuel, and thank you so much for joining us on News Hour. Emma, tell us, has calm be restored in that area?
Good afternoon.
So, Emmanuel, I was asking, has calm be restored in Wa?
Hello?
Emmanuel, if you can hear me, I'm asking if calm has been restored in the area.
Yes, certainly. There is absolute calm in Wa. I speak now. Everybody is going about normal business. Apart from yesterday, what happened in the night, the police and on top of issues now are making sure that the camp is the same.
So what briefing, Emmanuel, what briefing have you gotten from the police?
So far, you know, they have 3 who were arrested yesterday and they were processed for court this afternoon. Earlier they were in court a short while ago. And I understand the other 18 people that were arrested later in the evening were out in, who are made up of 2 women and 15 men, are also being prepared for court. And I have the Upper West Regional Crime Officer with me now for him to update us in respect of what is actually happening now. ACP Reynolds Mansell, what is the situation on the ground now?
Thank you, and good afternoon to your viewers. Yes, the situation currently in Wa is very calm. People are moving on with their daily activities. Vehicles are moving freely without hindrance. So basically, I would say that normalcy has returned to the Wa municipality.
The other 18 people that were being processed, what is their current status now?
Yes, in the area we made mention of the 18, that is 16 males and 2 females. After profiling, it was pruned down to 11. So 11 are currently being sent to the court. being sent to the court. They are now in court.
So the earlier 3 that went to court, what was their issue in respect of what the judges are talking about them? Whether are they granting them bail now or what is that?
Yes, with regards to the first 3 that were arrested, they were put before the circuit court today, and after the offences were read to them, the God, in His own wisdom, granted them bail with 5 sureties each, and to reappear on 14th of this month.
So what of the current number that we are sending now? What will be their charge?
The charges ranges from rioting, unlawful assembly, disturbing the peace, causing damage, and yes, these are the charges that we are preferring against them.
ACP, you know the police work in conjunction with the public, and now that these people were rioting, and you have to put them into their right perspective, you know there will be a bit of misunderstanding. How are you people going around this issue of misunderstanding now?
When you say a bit of misunderstanding, that is relative. You know, that is within your mind. You want to understand. If you want misunderstanding, it will come from how you perceive it. But we don't see any misunderstanding in the community. It was just a misinformation and miscommunication that came around. That is why some of these issues came around. And you know, because of that, the police is embarking on this community policing engagement so that we bring the community closer to the police, educate them to understand the dictates of the police work, the tenets of the police work, and how it is done, so that they will appreciate us the more. We will also want the public to have the confidence in the police. When 1 or 2 things have gone bad with the police officer, doesn't mean the whole police service is rotten. So they should have confidence in the police that the police will do the right thing, and we will all have peace in this country.
ACP Mantiel, we are very grateful for this update. We'll be coming back at your doorstep information when they need be. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, Emmanuel, so let's know from you, have you met the 2 people involved in this leaked sex tape, that is the man and woman in the center of all this controversy?
No, I've not been able to come into contact with them. I've not been able to come into contact with them because we don't know even where they are residents, though they are residents of Waba, particularly where they are residing specifically. I don't know that area. I have not come into contact with them.
All right, so that will be that for now. Thank you so much for the updates, and we'll get back to you later if we need more updates. You're still watching News Hour live on GBC News and GTV. Guests on GBC Breakfast this morning denounced the alleged intention of the hashtag Fix the Country campaigners to stage another protest, this time with their own private security guards carrying weapons. The Ghana Police Service on Wednesday issued a press statement in response to an alleged letter sent to the service by the Fix the Country group informing them of their intention to organize another demonstration.
There are some people are saying they are going to do some demonstration, but that they will employ armed security.
It ties into what we're talking about. Yeah, so
yes, seriously. Let's not any politician. I'm saying this with all my honesty. Let's not any politician encourage this. Let's not any politician support this. You see, because the evil of it will bounce back one day when you are in power.
Young men should not forget themselves. Sometimes they get so psyched up and they make statements without thinking. And I keep saying emotions have no intellect. We should be able to make statements that will not undermine the very thing we are doing. Why are we demonstrating? They are demonstrating because they are not happy with something. But if they are going to be demonstrating in violence, then violence will meet violence, and that will be a crash, and that will be anarchy, that will be a mess, that will be a situation that we don't want in Ghana.
The police service has declined protection for persons planning to picket at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation GBC and the police headquarters in Accra. The protesters intend to contract a private security company to protect them during the 3-day protest starting on June 4, 2022. But the police in the statement said the nature and character of the demonstration as intended is inconsistent with the Public Order Act. Dr. Prosper Norte Ado is a security analyst and joins us via Zoom to help us understand the nuances of the hashtag Fix the Country demonstration request and provisions in the Public Order Act. Hello, good afternoon, Doc, and thank you so much for joining us on News Hour.
Thank you very much. I'm having a lot of feedback, so it's a bit difficult to hear you.
All right, we'll try and fix that. But Doc, if you can hear me well, does the Constitution allow a pressure group access to the state broadcaster, that is GBC, to address the nation of any matter?
The background, is there in a better place? Yeah. Here should be better. So bring bring another chair. Sorry.
Generally, you have to with the police. You have to inform them, discuss the route you want to use, the purpose for the demonstration, and all that. Now, they would have to then review your request and give you the go-ahead with the requisite protection for you to be able to embark on that demonstration. You may or may not embark on it, depending on what comes up in your request. The issue we're talking about currently has some problems. And so when I read the police statement, I wasn't surprised, because I think that the intention to embark on the intentions to embark on the demonstration is right, but the means by which they want to employ to do that is questionable. Nobody goes on a demonstration and requests to use his or her personal protection. That becomes something else. And so, under the circumstances, I think that the police did the right thing to come out with that statement. And for those who are intending to demonstrate, to again go back and decide whether or not they originated that letter and how they want to go about this demonstration legally.
Now let's talk about conforming to law and order. So what provisions are available for pressure groups to air their grievances?
Please come again. I didn't hear you clearly.
I'm saying that we're talking about conforming to law and order. So I was asking the provisions available for a pressure group to air their grievances.
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier on, generally this group has to write to the police requesting for the permission to embark on a protest. The police has to give the go-ahead. And if they review and notice that there is a problem, they will then be communicated to and told that they cannot based on A, B, C, or D. However, if they meet the requirements, the police will then agree with them on a date and avail themselves to give them protection and also ensure public safety. So these are two main things, so that in the course of the protest, nobody will attack them And also in the course of the protest, they would also not endanger public safety and also preserve peace and stability. So these are some of the general requirements to embark on a demonstration.
All right, so if they have done all these, and maybe it is because of their requests for having private security guards that is, holding this demonstration back, what should they do?
So I think there's a very big problem with that. There are controversies over who generated the letter, and the fact that the conveners, perhaps one of them is also questioning the basis of including that particular part of private protection, private security protection in it. That really defeats the whole purpose. I think that we need to take ourselves seriously. These demonstrators, like I mentioned, have good intentions in terms of the reasons they take. But if they're going to be asking to protect themselves, and they really wrote that, then they must not be taken seriously, because then they must understand the rudiments, okay, in embarking on a protest or a demonstration. And in doing that, you don't go seeking your own protection. If you have problem with trust, because you think that the police might not give you the needed protection, then you clearly state it, and solutions will be found to that. But to say you want your own protection is very questionable, and it should not and cannot be allowed.
Doctor, don't you think that this is not the first time they're having, or they want to proceed on a protest? They've had a couple of them already, and according to them, they are not happy about what the police did during their last two protests, and that is why they are seeking this kind of protection. So in this case, what should the police also do if they've lost confidence in the police now and they are seeking for their own private security guard protection?
Yes, there's been instances in the past where there appeared to be that the police were being political rather than apolitical. And to the extent that sometimes they want to prevent them from embarking on their rights. This is unfortunate. Whenever this develops, it is not really in the interest of any person, particularly in the context of democracy. Anybody who applies to go on a demonstration must be allowed to go as long as the person conforms to the tenets that is required under the public order act to embark on that demonstration. As is passed, I mean, the demonstrations that you mentioned have taken place eventually. But if they still have problems, like I said, there needs to address those problems. It is not to say that they want to seek their own protection. That goes totally against the requirements of the Public Order Act. Because then anybody at all will also go seeking his own protection to also do a counter one. And that is a recipe for disaster. So, I mean, those who intend to embark on this demonstration would help the cause of both themselves and that of the state if they really want to seek justice on ensuring that this EJEPA deal is something that benefits everybody, that the whole issue about the Achimota forest and the way things are going is corrected, that is not forgotten in the process like many other issues. And also, they are going on this demonstration to ensure peace and stability. So if you want to ensure peace and stability of the country, given all the threats and all that, terrorism and other things, then do the right thing. And in doing the right thing, go under the protection of the police. If you have problems, you know what to resort, where to resort to address the issues. So my advice would be that, look, you have good intentions, and you could see there are people coming from different backgrounds, not just the usual political parties we know. And that being the case, they should do it and do it well. Because it's about the interest of the state. And I think it is in the right direction. But to go on saying that they want to do things in their own manner, I don't think is the right thing to do. And the police must not agree to this, as they rightly did.
Thank you very much. Dr. Prosper Nino Te Ado is a security analyst. The Bono and Bono East Regional Departments of Gender are appealing to media practitioners to be more gender responsive to issues of sexual and gender-based violence in society. They say the media must prioritize sexual and gender-based concerns. These issues came up at a sensitization program organized for media practitioners on sexual and gender-based violence in Techiman. Our Bono East Regional Correspondent Samuel Ayama is with the acting Bono Regional Director, Mrs. Joycelyn Adi, and joins us live with more details.
Okay. India, the Bono East region issues of gender-based violence. We are doing quite better here, but I have the Bono Regional Director of Gender to tell us more about what is actually happening in the region. And you are welcome to GBC News. Tell us what this program that we are having here is all about.
Okay, today is a sensitization program that we have invited media men from several media houses to participate in a training on gender-sensitive reportage. Over the years, we know that the media is a lens through which people see things. And so for us to be able to be on the same page and to sensitize people, the Department of Gender, in collaboration with the Bono East Regional Coordinating Council, with support from the UNFPA, has pulled this up together for media men to make sure that they are on the same page with us, so that they will be able to sensitize the general public. Research has shown that most people tend to run to the media when they have issues. So it is very important that we give them the education that when people come to them, they should make sure that they talk to people. That is not to say that they are taking the role of any institution, but we know that they are actually the first point of contact. So if the media is sensitized on how to have a gender-sensitive reportage, especially when we see them sensationalizing some of the sexual and gender-based violence issues, it becomes an issue of concern. And you know that our culture does not permit that, and the laws of Ghana does not allow us to do such things. So with the local media stations, they are here to help us know which area we should target more and make sure that these issues of sexual and gender violence is not being sensationalized by the media.
Is it so alarming, issues of gender, sexual and gender-based violence in the regions of this that you are having?
I think for the Bono East and regions, we've also had our fair share of sexual and gender-based violence issues. But what is worrying today for us is that the media men, it's not the first time they are organizing such a training for them. And I think from the first training, when we do reportage on sexual and gender-based violence issues, really they have really done that. But because for some time now we hadn't engaged them, we saw that people had started to those their terms that would not order well for sexual and gender-based violence. So this meeting has been facilitated by the fact that we have followed the reportage over the years. For 2 years now, we have been doing that. And we know that with this sensitization, media men will tone down on some of the way they report on sexual and gender-based violence, especially violence perpetrated against girls and youth.
Okay, so going forward, what do you expect from the media and other stakeholders or your partners?
Okay, I think after the media is a very great stakeholder in this direction, and they are eager to change. And so what we are hoping for is that they use their platforms to sensitize the general public. Even you could be ambassadors for sexual and gender-based violence. And also with time, periodically they can invite institutions that have the mandate of sexual and gender-based violence to educate their public. Because we see that over the period, people rely more on the physical infrastructure, using some of these issues. But the things they told, they are being perpetrated each and every day. And so the media should help us in that way.
Thank you very much. I have been speaking with the Bono Regional Director of Gender, who will continue to follow these issues up and then keep our viewers updated. For GBC News, Samuel Ayama, Techimai.
With inadequate beds, students at Yebua Eshiama Senior High School in Insuta in the Techiman municipality of the Bono East region settle for the floor amid congestion. Almost all the students in the school who felt sick were diagnosed of malaria because they are unable to use their mosquito nets since they have no beds. Our Bono East regional correspondent Samuel Ayama again with a report.
Eshiama Senior High School was established by the chiefs and people of Insuta in 2011 as a community day senior high school and subsequently absorbed by government in 2013. Currently, there are 626 students in the school. Authorities say with the introduction of the free SHS policy, population has increased without a corresponding increase in infrastructure, and this remains a major challenge confronting the school. When GBC News visited the school, the teachers were using a pavilion they constructed as a staff common room, while the students were also using a pavilion constructed by the residents of Insuta as a dining hall. With no beds, all the students lie on the floor. Some of the students told GBC News that malaria is common from frequent mosquito bites.
We don't have beds. We don't have place to hang our mosquito nets. We lie on floor.
I fell sick and I went to the clinic yesterday. And because we don't have good bells and mosquito nets.
Speaking to GBC News, the divisional chief of Insuta, Nana Owusu Amiyao II, appealed to government to come to their aid.
Now the children are many, so I will appeal to the government to come and help us, that we can get some dormitories and staff bungalows.
The headmaster of Yebua Eshiama SHS, Mr. Kofo Abdallah Khalid, complained about the lack of dormitories, staff bungalows, classroom blocks, dining hall, beds, and administration block.
The most urgent challenge that we have here is the boys' dormitory and the classroom.
A rented apartment serves as the school's girls' dormitory. The school authorities also complained about the bad roads and difficult movement, especially when it rains. For GBC News, Samuel Ayama, Insuta.
The Ghana National Fire Service GNFS, as part of its fire safety celebration, is holding an open day at the headquarters in Accra today. There is a display of fire safety equipment for members of the general public and schools to have a first-hand information on how the institution operates. Our correspondent Frida Aben was there to observe the atmosphere and is in the studio with me to tell us more. Frida, good afternoon. You were there today. So what did you observe and what more can you tell us about the day?
Okay, so the day for the Ghana National Fire Service today, which is the 4th day on their week-long celebration, started around 9 a.m. And when my team and I got there, it was very somber. And the first school that was there to have a feel of the equipment and how the service operates was the Garrison JHS and primary school children. It was very interesting to see them because it kind of reminds me of my school days when we used to go for open days. And interestingly, you will see that the children were eager to know more about how fire is quenched and how safety apparels are worn and all that. So the hierarchy of the Ghana National Fire Service, made up of the Director of Operations and then the PRO, took the school children around, and before then they actually engaged them in fire safety tips. They were asked to know that the firefighter is somebody that you cannot do without, and that's the fire safety management and prevention scheme or let me say framework is such that things that they do is not just about fire, but also when there is an accident or there are disasters, they collaborate with partner agencies like NADMO to help the situation. I mean, and so they were also told that in line with the Ghana Police launch, see something, say something, the fire service is also saying that see something, say something, and prevent fire. They went through so many tips, and from there they were taken to the stand where the equipments are displayed as you're seeing on the screen, and they were taken through how the various fire extinguishers are used to quench fire, the types, and then also how to quench fire, or when there's fire outbreak, what you have to do before you are able to.
But Frida, did they really specify their emergency number? Because you know, in most cases, people will always say that when there was a fire outbreak, we called the fire service, and then when they are asked on which number, you hear them mentioning different numbers. So
Sure.
did they also make that known to the children? Because you know, when we give this to the children, they can easily, you know, tell others, and others will tell others, and information flow will be that okay.
Sure. They were particular about that aspect too. Thank you very much. And the number that they stressed on, I can say offhand, is 192. And they were told that it's not, you cannot just say I know the number. So you anytime you want to call and then play prank on them or tricks on them, it doesn't help. It is an emergency number. There are other numbers, but the 192 is also a number that should be the first number that should come in mind anytime you are in such a situation. And I also got to know one thing, that fire that is ignited by oil is fought with fire blankets. I didn't know. I know a bit of how to get yourself in a safe place when there's fire, or how to handle fire outbreak a little bit, but that aspect I didn't know. It was very interesting to know. And I was also told that fighting fire is from the base. If you want to fight, if you want to quench it in no time, you tackle where it started from, which is the base. But most of the times the fire service worry is that people look at the flames, rather they target the flames, but when you do that, it spreads. But when you tackle it from the base, then you are good to go.
So did you also have the opportunity to speak to some of the school children, and then what did they tell you? What did they say they've learned new? Maybe there was a tip or two about fire safety management that they got from these from our firemen. So what did they tell you?
Sure. So I spoke to two of them, and all of them, it was their first time of coming to the open day of the fire service, and one of them, who was actually adorned with the safety apparel, yes, he said it was very heavy, but he felt good in it, and he kind of appreciated the firefighters. And he said that now he understands why we say there's a saying that they are forgotten heroes. What they do a lot. Being in that apparel, there's heat in it, and he felt he couldn't even breathe. So he was just wondering how they are able to wear it, and they feel so comfortable going up and down trying to help salvage a situation. And the other school pupil I spoke to, gender balance, so I spoke to a he who was adorned, and then I spoke to a she who observed. She wasn't bold. She said she couldn't handle it, so she did not wear it. But she said that she would like to grow up to be like a firefighter.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, to be a fire officer.
Exactly.
Because looking at the fire hydrants, the fire tenders and looking at the atmosphere there, seeing the smoke detectors and all that, and then also knowing how firefighters are able to strategize before they are able to go hands-on to quench fire, to make the citizens safe, is interesting. And that she has changed her mind. She had wanted to do something else, but now she's going home with a message that she would be a firefighter or fire officer.
Thank you very much, Frida. It's good for them to have that experience, and I know that they are going to transfer this knowledge that they got from these fire officers to parents at home or families and friends, and the message will spread. You're still live on GBC News, and you watching News Hour. We're taking a short break. Please don't go away.
There are strong women whose stories teach us perseverance, logic, decisiveness and self-confidence. Being strong is not just about physical abilities, but also emotional, intellectual and mental strength. Women's Voice is a platform to hear and share stories to encourage women and girls. Women are the real architects of society. It is they who provide the foundation of power, grace, wisdom, justice, creativity and hope. Join us live every Monday at 4 p.m. on GBC News and GTV, Wednesdays live at 4 p.m. on GBC News and repeat on Saturdays at 4 p.m. on GBC News and Sundays at 3 p.m. also on GBC News. Women's Voice. No one can make you inferior without your consent.
Hello, it's time for business with me, Esther Edu Ohumewu. The Supreme Economic Council for the Arab-African Economy and Economic Diplomatic Body is supporting Ghana's health sector with 2.8 billion euros. Speaking at the maiden Arab-Africa Investor Summit in Accra, the president of the council said a medical university as well as hospitals will be built and furnished with modern medical equipment to make quality healthcare accessible to all Ghanaians. The Supreme Council for Arab-African Economy, SCAAE, is an international organization that seeks to promote trade and investment in Arab and African countries. SCAAE provides project consultancy, researches into business development, and also represents the interests of investors throughout Africa and other parts of the world. At his maiden conference in Accra, the Chief Executive of the Africa Arab Investment Hub, Mr. Haj Mukaila Ekwamwa, said the conference was to promote investments in various sectors of the Ghanaian economy, such as construction, agriculture, health, manufacturing, energy and services.
In the light of changing global dynamics, however, we believe that the new opportunities are beginning to show up, which makes it imperative for Arab African countries partner more to build economic bridges to grow our various economies. We believe there are opportunities for the prospect of higher growth, higher living standards for Africa, working closely with the Arab countries.
In the words of the President of the Council, Hani Abu Zaid, the group has allocated 2.8 billion euros for Ghana's health sector for the building of well-equipped health centers and the creation of a smart city, all expected to create over 150,000 jobs for Ghanaians. A Deputy Minister for Health, Mr. Mahama Asei Seini, said Ghana is making strides in the building of health infrastructure under the Agenda 111 initiative. He described the support from the Arab group as welcome news. The president of the AGI, Mr. Humphrey Indake, responded that the association is well positioned to partner the Arab investors to ensure progress in areas such as energy, health, education and manufacturing.
So when you find strategic investors and partners who are looking to your country and your continent, where we have signed a continental free trade agreement. Your wish is to get such partners with patient funds, because most of them do have a lot of state wealth, sovereign bonds that they are looking for opportunities to invest in. And Africa is the next frontier, and in Ghana we have reasonable stability, political stability over the period.
The conference attracted investors and regulatory agencies. In a perception index survey, the National Insurance Commission has concluded that about 78% of respondents sampled have knowledge about insurance. From the survey, 16% of respondents have minimal knowledge about insurance, while 6% know nothing about insurance. In an exclusive interview, the Commissioner of Insurance, Dr. Justice Ofori, said the more people know about insurance and its benefits, the better their understanding when purchasing insurance policies.
This is the third phase of the NIC's Insurance Perception Index for 2021. The first phase of the Public Perception, Awareness and Confidence Index was conducted in 2019 in conjunction with the GIZ. In 2020, the NIC proceeded to conduct the second round of research with regards to the same indices as a way to keep track of progress. So, the third round of research forms the basis for the current study. The Consumer Confidence Index, CCI, is the degree of optimism about the state of the economy that consumers of services, such as insurance services, are expressed through the activities of saving and spending. The recommendation stated herewith will support NIC's ongoing intervention programs to shore up public confidence and awareness of insurance in Ghana post-COVID-19. In an exclusive interview with the Commissioner of Insurance, Dr. Justice Ofori explained what the survey means to the insurance industry.
For us, it's good news. Previously, people would talk about banking and other things, but they wouldn't mention insurance. The more people know of insurance and its benefits, it also encourages them to actually purchase one or two insurance, protect themselves. But when we talk of insurance penetration, there are other factors that come into play. Coming into the GDP basket, and they're more potent than insurance, definitely you might not see a higher penetration. Not seeing a higher penetration does not mean insurance is not doing good.
On recapitalization of insurance companies, Dr. Ofori said 98% of insurance companies have recapitalized. One company has undergone acquisition, while two have merged.
Before the recapitalization, most of the companies were actually struggling. The protection policy holders have is that their claims are paid expeditiously. I mean, they're dealing with companies that are financially solid and solvent. When we talk about insurance perception, when you have claims and their claims are being paid on time, then your perception of insurance will be high.
Dr. Ofori said the Commission is looking at integrating the issuance of the ECOWAS Brown Card into the digitalization of the motor insurance database. He urged policyholders to demand for the ECOWAS Brown Card whenever a motor insurance policy is purchased.
It covers you when you drive into someone's country, and it also has protection when someone visits Ghana and runs into your vehicle or you're involved in an accident with this person. We have a secretariat in Ghana and also in other West African countries that actually oversee the claims process to make sure that claims are paid expeditiously and are investigated well.
On the outlook, NIC says it will review its performance over the past 4 years regarding the MID and come up with a strategic plan to address the issues and also intensify public education on insurance.
Let's head into bank and commodity figures for the day. And that's all for business. Thanks for watching.
Dealing with the filth in Accra. The gutters are choked with garbage. The streets are a jumble of filth. The beauty of the serene beaches is marred with human feces and plastics as many defecate in the open. Residents are up in arms when the situation gets out of hand.
Because of these meetings, you can't even stand there for even a minute. As we speak, mosquitoes even refuse to breathe on it.
Partners in sanitation suggest alternative policy interventions.
Landfilling is not the way forward. We are recommending treatment facilities.
But in all of this, have we made gains in the sector?
How can you have a people who have a lot of dignity and still practicing identification?
The task facing Ghana to achieve SDG Goal 6 on clean water and sanitation for all is Herculean and riddled with equally complicated hurdles. Join us every Thursday on Wash Hour from 4:05 p.m. to 5 p.m. as we seek to put these issues and more in perspective. Watch a repeat on Fridays from 1 to 2 p.m. and on Sundays 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. It is our duty to keep our surroundings clean and free from disease. Sister.